So, as you may or may not know, we're slowly but surely approaching Warframe's 10th anniversary, which in and of itself is pretty crazy, but what's even crazier to me is that I was there to witness pretty much all of it. My journey started in 2013. I used to be a big fan of Total Biscuit. I found him through his coverage of Cataclysm Beta, and I just stayed because I really enjoyed his videos. He used to run this series called WTF Is, where he would review/do a first impressions of random games. These videos were pretty much a decisive factor for me on whether or not I should buy certain video games. I didn't agree with TB on everything, but I knew his preferences and I knew mine, so I knew even if he didn't like something that I might enjoy it. I've discovered many wonderful games this way. About 10 years ago, TB uploaded yet another episode of the WTF Is series. WTF Is Warframe. And I was intrigued because at around this time I had basically no money, so a free-to-play game that actually looks fun to play and is available on Steam? Yeah. Come me in. So I download the game and I tried out for a little bit, and I'm very confused because back in those days Warframe was even worse at directing you around. There was no orbiter, it was just your Warframe kneeling atop the star chart, the old star chart that is, and a bunch of menus that you would have to navigate through. But I thought the gameplay was pretty fun, so I kept playing. Now this time Warframe was very different. It was much darker and it was a lot slower. There was no movement 2.0, no bullet jumping, so I played it kind of like a stealth game. I would sneak around with a bow and slowly pick off enemies from the shadows. Eventually I made it to the boss of the first planet. I don't remember what it was anymore because it was 10 years ago, but I do remember it being the Corpus tile set, but populated by Grenier. And the final boss was Vor, who at the time was just a reskinned butcher. It was literally just a red butcher with a prova. And that's pretty much where I stopped. I did a few more missions after that, but at this time Warframe was still very basic, and I was still actively playing World of Warcraft, so I kind of focused on that primarily, and I would only occasionally jump into Warframe to do a few things here and there. This made me miss some of the really cool events, which I'm still bummed out about to this day. Eventually, as I grew more and more tired of World of Warcraft, I started playing Warframe more. Then one day, I don't remember how, but I found out that a few of the raiders in my World of Warcraft group actually played Warframe as well, so we ended up playing Warframe together, which was a lot of fun. And then as I grew more and more tired of World of Warcraft, I started playing Warframe a lot more. Now at this time I've already uploaded a bunch of videos on my YouTube channel. It was mostly to do with World of Warcraft and Balanced Druids guides and that kind of nonsense, and they were all really bad, you know, because this was like 8-9 years ago. And it was pretty much what you would expect from a random dipshit that wants to make YouTube videos 10 years ago. Terrible video quality, bad microphone, you know, the whole shebang. And as I was sitting here, you know, tired of World of Warcraft and making videos about that, I thought to myself, you know what? I'm gonna be brave. I'm gonna make a video about this new small game that I found through TB, this Warframe game. Yeah, let's make a video about that. And that's exactly what I did. I made the unprofessional review of Warframe, and this, by the way, is the second iteration of the star chart. The original iteration of the star chart was actually fairly similar, or much more similar to what we have now to this, but yeah, this was in the game for quite a while. In the video, I talked about how much I like Warframe, and I talked about the different game modes, and I tried my best to represent it as best as I could, but yeah, it was a terrible video. Oh my god. And that's basically where this all started. As I played Warframe more and more, I felt like I wanted to make more videos, so eventually I made a video about the event that introduced Manix into the game. And eventually I started to make videos about farming resources because I couldn't find like short and to the point videos that would explain to me where I need to go to farm certain things. And I was annoyed, so I did the same thing I did with World of Warcraft. When I couldn't find a good balanced raid guide, I just did the research and made my own. Eventually though, people started asking me about weapon builds and Warframe builds, and I was really unsure about that because I didn't know that much about the game. I have been playing it on and off for about 2 years at this point, but I was playing it casually just for fun. So what I would actually do is send people over to Headshot's channel because he had his Let's Max Out stuff in Warframe series going. So I was just like, yeah, go watch that, it's much better. And as you may have guessed, that did not last very long, and I think the first build video I ever did was the Michael Bay Amprex build, which was basically just Amprex with combustion beam. And now I have easily over 500 different build videos on my channel. And this is the video that started it all. The video you're watching right now. This is crazy. This is what started the quick look series, the review series, everything. Because up until this video I would just do my farming stuff, and occasionally I would talk about something I found interesting here and there. But once I made this video, and the response to it was quite good, I realized that I have hundreds of different weapons that I can make videos about. This is when Warframe officially took over my channel. From this point onwards, it was mostly Warframe videos, with only an occasional World of Warcraft video here and there. This was also the year where I went from about 2,000 subscribers to 10,000 subscribers, which was insane to me. What was even more insane though is that I was starting to make a little bit of money from this, which of course encouraged me to make even more videos. But it also made me take the game a little bit more seriously. I became interested in all kinds of different mechanics because, you know, if I know how the mechanic works, I can make a video about it. And it's what started playlists like the stance review, where I would go through all the melee stances in the game and go through all the combos, all the hits and all the damage they do. Eventually, as more and more people found my channel and watched my videos, I started making enough money to where I could actually do this as a full-time job, which was pretty lucky because as I did more and more YouTube stuff, I thought about it more at work and I started making mistakes, so I got fired. At this point, I had to make a decision. And the decision I made was the dumbest yet best decision of my life. I decided to try YouTube as a full-time job. And somehow, it worked out and I'm still doing it almost 7 years later now. It's also the first job that I ever did since I left school that feels right for me. I might not be the best at it, God knows I'm not the best at it, but it just feels right. Yes, it has its ups and downs, but yeah, it feels right.